Most leadership work happens when nobody is watching. Not in big meetings, not in presentations, not in the moments that get attention. Leadership usually happens in quiet moments, often in a conversation between two people, or in a decision that only a few people ever know about. And those decisions carry real weight. When people think about leadership, they often imagine the big moments, the strategy meeting, the major decision, the announcement everyone talks about afterwards. But most leadership doesn't look like that. Most leadership happens quietly. Over the years, I've run into situations on teams where something just wasn't quite right. Sometimes it was how someone treated the rest of the team. Sometimes it was an expense report that didn't quite line up. Sometimes it was someone saying that they had meetings that frankly didn't really happen. None of those things were huge scandals, but they were moments that tested standards. And when someone is producing results, the easiest thing to do is to look away. Organizations do that all the time because results can make people uncomfortable about addressing behavior. But leadership shows up in those quiet moments. I remember one situation where I finally asked someone to come into my office. Nothing dramatic. Just the two of us sitting there. No audience, no announcement. Just a conversation. A candid conversation. I explained the situation, why it mattered, and what the expectations were going forward. It wasn't a long meeting, but it mattered because culture is not built in big speeches or big meetings. It's built quietly, one conversation at a time. Those moments test leaders because the easiest thing to do is often nothing. Let it go. Tell yourself it isn't a big deal. Tell yourself you'll deal with it later. But leaders know something important. Small things rarely stay small. Behavior that is ignored becomes behavior that is accepted. And behavior that is accepted becomes culture. One of my personal leadership rules is actually built around a quote from Teddy Roosevelt. In the time of decision, the best decision you can make is the right one. The next best decision is the wrong one. The worst decision is to make no decision at all. That quote captures something important about leadership because those quiet conversations are moments of decision. Do you address the issue or look the other way? Do you reinforce the standard or quietly lower it? Leadership shows up when you decide that standard matters, even when nobody else will see that decision. One of the things experience teaches you about leadership is that responsibility is rarely loud. It's usually quiet. You carry it with you. Long after the meeting ends, long after everyone else has moved on. A leader is often the person still thinking about the consequences, still thinking about the people involved, still asking one simple question: was that the right decision? Leadership can feel lonely in those moments because responsibility sits with you. When you are younger in leadership, you sometimes think the job is about action, moving fast, making decisions quickly, showing people you are decisive, showing people you are in charge. But over time, you learn something different. Leadership is often about judgment, taking a moment to pause, thinking about the long term, thinking about the culture you are building, recognizing that the decision you make today may affect people for years. That perspective usually comes from experience. Experience teaches leaders to think differently about those quiet moments. Culture is not built in town hall meetings. It's not built in PowerPoint slides. It's built in quiet moments, in small decisions, in conversations about behavior and expectations. And those conversations happen every day in organizations, often without anyone else ever knowing. But over time, they shape the environment everyone works in, one conversation at a time. The most important leadership moments rarely look dramatic. They look ordinary. A quiet conversation, a decision about a team member, a choice about what standard you are willing to accept. Over time, those choices add up. They shape your reputation. They shape your leadership. They shape your culture, one conversation at a time. Leadership is rarely loud. It is quiet work done behind the scenes. But those quiet decisions matter. They shape culture, they shape teams, and they shape the kind of leader you become. Often not all at once, but one conversation at a time. That is the Chaudron Effect: experience, perspective, and leadership.